we got some of that thunder snow, and it was like, what in the hell was that? And of course, I mean, you ran over Saturday, and my wife comes down, and she's like, Ryan Hall just put a video out, and he just kept saying, sorry. and my wife's like, we're going to have ice and snow and thunderstorms all mixed together. And she's like, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be like Jesus is coming right then when all this is happening.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Homestead HQ, where we talk about homesteading and preparedness. This is Shelly.
I'm Jason. Guys, it's glad to have y'all back. I hope everybody is semi-warm and stuff like that, because it is stinking cold here. It's about 20-something degrees, and I think today, well, last night the high was like 40 or something here, and then after midnight it just plummeted. And I think this morning when I got out, it's about 28 degrees. So
this morning here, it was like in the 40s, the mid 40s. And then as the day went on, the temperature dropped.
Yeah.
And the really weird thing is that I work in the county that's like adjacent to the county that I live in. And when I was coming home this afternoon, it wasn't real bad. The county that I work in, there hadn't been much precipitation today or anything like that, but I got to the county that I live in, and the roads started getting slick, and there was black ice and all of that kind of stuff. And even my friend Ray that I share an office with, she lives on the northern part of this county, and she kept sending me pictures that she was getting from her parents or whatever of all the snow all over the road in the northern part of the county. And Randy's like, it's not even snowing at the house. I mean, there was nothing happening here, but then, it started getting like black ice and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, or if we're going to get more bad weather.
It seemed a little dry here, and like the roads in Warren County and stuff. First thing this morning, I was out, and I'm like, it's not bad. I ran into town. It was, just driving as normal. There were no slick spots or anything like that. So,
right.
But we'll kind of dive into that a little bit more and give a little bit of a recap. But, hey, first thing, guys, leave a comment for us. That really helps out a lot in shooting the video out more. We like getting comments and engaging with y'all one-on-one in the comments section. Also, if you've got questions, leave us a question. We'll answer your question. If not in the comments, we'll answer it on an upcoming podcast. But leave a comment, leave us some questions. We love those things. I like reading them. Shelly likes reading them too. And we respond to you as quick as we can.
It helps to bump it into the algorithm, and then that YouTube will push it out, to other people that don't normally come and watch us or whatever. So, definitely leave a comment, like, subscribe, all those things.
Exactly. So, and then another thing, vackmasterfresh.com. Shelly, have you used your chamber sealer this week so far?
This week, no. I used it over Christmas break, though, because I was going through my freezer and repackaging some stuff and stuff like that. But now that you say that, I don't think I've used it this week.
I feel bad. I hadn't used mine this week either. But, guys, go to vackmasterfresh.com. Check out their commercial chamber sealers that they've got. Shelly and I both have one. We use the snot out of it.
Love it.
Yeah, especially on weekends when we're butchering animals. Go check them out. Use the code Homestead to save 15% on your order, and that stuff will stack if they've got any promos going.
Yep.
And they've got knives, super nice knives on there. That's about all I use anymore is Vackmaster brand knives. And then also one of our other sponsors for the show is Signature Solar. That's signaturesolar.com. They have changed it now on the affiliate link for that. If you want to get the discount with Signature Solar, you have to click on the affiliate link that is below in the description. If you don't click that, you won't get the discount code on there. So make sure you click on the link in the description below to get that discount code. They just changed it, and it's starting today. Today at midnight is when it changes. So use that code. What were you going to say, Shelly?
Nothing. I was on Vackmaster's website, and they have a recipe for spiced cranberry cocktail, and it looks really good.
That would work. Oh, yeah. Hey, Another thing, don't forget, January 25th, we've got the pig processing class here in Bowling Green at my place. Go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com, sign up for that. If you're going to come, husband and wife couple, use the code KSLPIG. That's going to save you money on the tickets for it. We've got just a few spots left. So if you're wanting to come to that, don't wait till the last minute. Go ahead and sign up now at the website for that pig processing class, January 25th.
Yep.
So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a small class, somewhere around 10 people are going to be there. So it'll be a small class where everybody gets to cut on some meat and you can see everything in detail. So go check that out. So Shelly, you're here. You survived Armageddon, the ice Armageddon.
I did.
Tell us what happened at your house. I'm jealous. You got more snow. And Lincoln's mad too because you got snow and we didn't get snow. Because I showed him the picture.
So it started out, what time? I think I got up around 7 on Sunday, and there was already snow on the ground. It snowed until probably about 10 o'clock. And then, and I didn't go out and measure it, but I'm pretty sure we got like somewhere between 2 to 3 inches of snow. And then the ice started. So it was really kind of crazy because it was raining. You could look outside and see that it was raining. And as it transitioned, it was snowing. You know how when snow falls, it kind of blows around and, looks kind of, it's not like rain. Well, I looked out the window and it was snowing, but the snow was coming straight down like rain. And I thought, okay, we're getting ready to switch to something else here. And so then it started raining, but if you went outside and got like hit with the rain, it was rain, but as it hit the ground, it turned into ice. Yeah. It's the craziest thing. So that happened for most of the day on Sunday. So it was like sleeting, ice rain kind of thing happening. And then we started getting a lot of ice accumulation on the trees and stuff like that. And thankfully nothing. Well, Randy sent me a picture today out where our sheep are out, where we have that little sheep hut out there. There was a tree branch that broke off out there and landed on the fence, but it landed on the fence that we built, not the new fence that was installed. So that was okay. So that icy stuff happened and lasted most of the day. And the snow that was on the ground, it turned it to ice. Yeah. Like we didn't have as many inches of snow, I guess. And then the really interesting thing happened yesterday evening. We got thunder, snow, lightning,
yes,
drizzle, ice, rain, whatever, like all at once. And it freaking my dogs out because my dog Cooper absolutely hates thunder. And so he's up in my lap. It's thundering and lightning outside, and you can see the snow, drizzle, whatever that stuff was in that coming down. And we're just sitting there going, we don't know who we pissed off, but somebody, yeah. Something is not right here.
Oh, yeah.
But that lasted, actually, it didn't last really long. It lasted maybe 30 minutes. It was about that time that we started seeing posts on Facebook of people having power outages. And the whole time, I think Ryan Hall went live, I don't know, somewhere like around 11:30 Central Time or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just kept that on most of the day. I looked at Randy and I said, is this what old people do? Like we're just watching the weather report for the whole day.
So we're certified old.
But I mean, Ryan Hall's funny and, he just kind of cracks you up. But watching those tornadoes happen and all that stuff down in Alabama and everything, I mean, oh my gosh. And, it's like bad stuff everywhere. You got people with power outages in our area because of ice and down power lines and stuff like that. And today there's still some people that don't have power. And then the tornadoes happening down south and there was a couple really big ones that hit the ground. So I don't know. This is like, he was talking at one point, he goes, wouldn't it be nice to have just like a good old fashioned snowstorm and not have all this other craziness happen,
oh yeah.
thunder snow and whatever is, I don't know. It was just a weird storm.
Oh yeah, we got some of that thunder snow, and it was like, what in the hell was that? And of course, I mean, you ran over Saturday, and my wife comes down, and she's like, Ryan Hall just put a video out, and he just kept saying sorry, and my wife's like, we're gonna have ice and snow and thunderstorms all mixed together, and she's like, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be like Jesus is coming right then when all this is happening. And of course, we were all down in the basement doing some stuff and just laughing about it. And I'm like, this is going to be a fun day.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah. I mean, I did a quick video this morning of kind of what happened at our place and a little quick overview of it. But essentially, I woke up, we had ice and just like a little dusting of snow. It looked like somebody threw a packet of powdered sugar out in the front yard is about all it was. And of course, Lincoln was mad. He's like, I got my snow pants and everything and my tube and all this. And he's like, when are we going? When are we going? I was like, dude, we ain't getting no snow. And so he's pissed off all day because there's no snow coming. But when I woke up, we already had a good glaze of ice going on the trees and everything else. And I'm kind of looking and I'm like, yeah, it's freezing rain, because what would happen, and Ryan Hall explained it, you got in the upper atmosphere, it's snowing, and then it hits this warm pocket of air, so the snow melts, and then it comes through that warm pocket of air into the colder air underneath, but it doesn't have time to refreeze. But he said as soon as it hits the ground, it freezes, or hits an object and sets, it freezes. We had at least a quarter inch of ice or better here, and that's
about what we had.
Yeah. And we might have had more, I don't know, but I know all the trees were sagging, and we've got a ton of cedar trees here. So the cedar trees were sagging down and stuff like that. And then it kind of turned into this weird like rain kind of deal where I didn't know if it was really, like the sidewalk was wet and slushy and everything. And it really didn't get a hard freeze. But, I mean, we sat around all day. I was watching Ryan Hall, seeing what everything was happening to other people. I had Greg Skeens texted me, and he's like, we got about 6 inches. And I was like, man, I'm jealous. And then he said, then he sends me another thing. He was like, we got like 8 inches now. And then he texted me later, and he's like, now we're getting ice. I was like, sucks to be you kind of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it did that. And I'm the type of person, I'm stir crazy. If I have to stay inside and I don't have a
I bet you lost your mind.
Oh, I was pacing. I was looking out the front door, and then I'd go look out the back door. And I'm like, as bad as I hate to say it, I was 100% prepared for this. And I'm like, I wish some shit would go wrong so I could just go out and do something. I'm like, I want some trees to fall, some power lines to mess up. I was like, I want to do something and have some fun with this at least. And so nothing really happened. And then right around, what was it, 4 o'clock, I was like, I wonder if the roads are bad, because I'm notorious. As soon as it snows, I get in my truck and just go drive around just because I'll find a parking lot.
We didn't go anywhere yesterday.
Oh, I will cut donuts in a parking lot like a 16-year-old kid and just have fun with it. But heck, we were, this has been 4 or 5 years ago when we had a good snow. We were going to go sledding at my parents' house. And this is when I had a Ford 1-ton truck. We were all in the truck driving down to my parents' house. And I looked over at my oldest son. I was like, you want to cut a donut out in the field? He goes, Granny's going to murder you. And I was like, it'll be fun. All 4 of us are in the truck. I pull off in the field. My wife looks at me. She's like, what are you doing? I just gassed it and started cutting donuts out in the field. The kids are hooping and hollering. My wife is like, I'm going to kill you when we get out. And then we pull up my parents' thing. My mom's like, what in the hell were you doing? I was like, I wanted to cut a donut. The grass will grow back. So, but yeah, so I mean, I went out. It was 4 o'clock, something like that. I was like, let's go check on my mother-in-law. So we rode up to her house. It was coming a good rain. I mean, I had the wipers on high, is how much rain we were getting. It was hovering at like 34 degrees. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, if it would drop like 2 degrees, it would be nasty, nasty stuff.
Yeah, you wouldn't be going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, at Bowling Green, if it would have dropped 2 degrees, Bowling Green would have been a solid inch of ice on everything. But we had to cut pulling out. And I will tell you, if somebody wants to keep a small little battery operated chainsaw. I wished I had it sitting here. It's in her car right now. It's got like it's a Milwaukee cordless chainsaw that's got like an 8-inch bar on it.
Yeah, we got a small one like that.
Oh, I threw that thing in the back of her SUV because we had to cut 5 or 6 limbs that were across the driveway that were hanging down. Like they were hanging down far enough they were gonna hit the grill. Is how low they were. So I grabbed it, cut those few limbs, and threw them out in the pasture and everything. But that little dude worked great. That's the only trouble we had. And then this morning I came out and we lost several cedar trees, which is not a huge deal. I probably needed to cut them anyway just to get some more grass to grow in certain spots. So we lost some cedar trees and some limbs and stuff like that, but nothing. I cut the ones that were on the fence, cut them off, drug them off the fence. They didn't hurt the fence. And the other ones, I'm freezing cold. My hands were ice. And I was like, it'll be warmer later on and we'll cut all these things up later. So later on, we're going to cut some limbs and some trees and stuff like that. But did you ever lose power?
Mm-mm.
We never lost power, not a flicker or anything. But I know some people in like northwestern Warren County and on up in there, they started losing some power. I think Warren Rural Electric had maybe 1,500 to 2,000 people out at one time that I saw.
I know. I think the last report that I heard was that we were maybe just under 100,000 in the state without power.
That's not bad.
Which, I mean, yesterday it was, there was one report that Ryan Hall did. It was 40-some thousand. And then when he came back and reported again, it was only like 33,000. So they had been out, getting power back on for people and that kind of thing. So that was good. I'm telling you, those guys, those linemen that do that job, that is not, I mean, I'm glad they pay them good money to do that because that is not a job that I would want to do. I mean, it's dangerous and everything. I mean, bless those guys because they really do a great job of keeping people, keeping the power on. Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to do it either. It's not in my top 100 jobs that I would want to do for sure. Me neither. Oh yeah, but hopefully, hey guys, leave a comment too. What did y'all see at your place? Tell us how you survived if you lost power. How prepared you were, kind of what snowfall you got, how much ice you got, what happened at your place. We'd be interested to know for sure. So, but that's kind of, we survived the massive blizzard and all that. Yeah, we're supposed to be having more bad weather come in this weekend. There's supposed to be a big storm coming up from Texas. Mm-hmm. Like Texas is supposed to be getting a snowstorm. So I don't know if that's going to pan out. The people in Texas, I'm sure, are hoping that it doesn't, but we're supposed to be getting more snow toward the end of the week. And so the last video that we put out, the top 5 things that you need to, the must-have items to be prepared for this storm, there were so many people that left great suggestions in the comments. And I appreciate that because there was a lot of people that were reading those comments and even, more than the things that Jason and I talked about, which we were just trying to do. We had this weather coming in and we were like, okay, what are some things that you can do like right now? That's kind of what we were trying to get at. But there were some people that had some great ideas and some things that I hadn't even thought about that I'm just like, okay, I'm adding that to my list now and all that. So anytime that you have any kind of ideas like that to share with the community and everything, put them in there. I put them on the comments. Let people know because, Jason and I don't think about everything and you guys had some really great ideas. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what kind of news do you have, Shelley? Other than it's January 6th, there was no insurrection. And the greatest thing is when Kamala Harris read out that she had to certify the election. I was laughing my butt off. Well, you just read my news, man. Besides that, you know what else happened today? What? Justin Trudeau resigned. Yes. Yes, so I saw that. Hopefully Canada can get their crap together now. Well, I saw something. It's like, and Trump is urging Canadians to come join the U.S. and be like the 51st state. Well, he was even like trolling Trudeau like a month ago, saying, calling him Governor Trudeau of the great state of Canada and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, oh my God. He's just like poking a stick at him, or it's just whatever.
Oh
It
yeah.
just cracked me up.
I mean, I'd take Canada as the 51st state. There's nothing wrong with that. They'd have to stop. They'd have to stop speaking whatever that French Canadian thing. They'd have to all learn English and stop that. But
I think they know English. They're just bilingual.
But then Tim the Tool Man would be an American and not a Canadian.
He might enjoy that.
Yeah. Well,
He
he's
doesn't
half.
have to have a passport to get into the country anymore.
Yeah. Well, he's half American now since he owns land in Tennessee. So
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
we'll say it is. It works. The lower half or the upper half, it just depends.
I'm pretty sure you got to like go through some stuff to be American, and owning land is not one of the things you have to go through.
All right. Well, all right. Shelly, topic of the night or topic of the day, whenever you're listening to this. What have you got?
So our topic that we're going to talk about today is prepping versus sustainability. Because we kind of talk about both things, you know, we do homesteading and preparedness and all of that. And we're kind of wanting to be like the marriage of two worlds, I guess. So sometimes, Justin and I are kind of the opinion that it's a good idea to be prepared. We're also of the opinion that it's a good idea to be sustainable.
True.
And so, Jason, why don't you start out by just telling us what preparedness is?
Yeah, kind of my definition of the preparedness part is preparing and have systems and supplies in for more short-term emergencies and disasters. Just like you got your generator ready for the snowstorm if we're going to have power outages. Mm-hmm. You've got food put back if there's going to be food shortages, stuff like that. Shorter term events, a week to a month to 3 months, something like that, is more short term stuff. And readiness for unforeseen events. A tornado. You've got your generator for a tornado if all the power lines are down, stuff like that. Your sustainability part is more of a long-term approach to things, really. So, Shelly, you want to talk about more of the sustainability part of it?
So, with sustainability, we're looking at replenishing those preps. We're looking at preparing for the next generation that's going to come along and making. We're looking way far out in the future with preparedness. And I've heard Jason say this over and over, because the funny thing about Jason and I, Jason started out as a prepper. I always point the wrong direction. Jason started out as a prepper, and when gradually got into homesteading, and I started out as a homesteader who is gradually seeing, the advantages of prepping.
I've drugged you to the dark side.
Kinda. So the thing that Jason always says is that, like if in your preps as a prepper, if you have 365 days of food put away, and then you have to pop the seal on that bucket of food, now you have 364 days, and then you have 363 days, and you have a limited supply of food. Whereas in the homesteading world, or if you're looking at sustainability, you have your preps that are going to get you through that first season or that first year as you are growing your own food and raising your own animals and doing that sustainable lifestyle. There's, it's definitely a mindset thing. Some people may think that, having a year's supply of food, that will do them. But if you don't have the skills to grow a garden, if you don't have the sustainability skills, I guess, then what happens after that year?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are looking at the short term and playing the short term game.
Yes.
I'm playing the long term game. You know, it's a lot of people are playing the 100-meter dash kind of deal when you should be playing the marathon approach to it. And I mean, even like our grandparents, you know, when your grandparents had a homestead and they were raising a huge garden and they got the chickens and stuff like that, grandma just didn't say, well, we only need 52 cans of green beans. At 52 cans, we're going to stop and then, you know, throw the rest away or feed the chickens all that. She canned all 200 cans of green beans, and then she knew that next year maybe the garden wouldn't be as big. So grandma was a prepper and a sustainability person all wrapped up in one, which I think more people should move to that model and everything that way. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. If you're just stocking food, and I have nothing against stocking food, I have stocked food to the gills here, but I've also got a way to replenish that food. And I mean, part of it's sitting out there in the barn. I mean, sheep reproduce prolifically. I mean, we just now started lambing, and we got 2 lambs so far out of 1 year. So right there, that's next year's meat that's going to be coming in there. We've got rams that'll be ready pretty soon to put some more rams in the freezer, and that was from last year's stuff. So you kind of got to think about it too. That, and a lot of people have got these magic seed vault things, you know, that they're storing. They're like, oh, when it goes down, I'm just going to throw these magic Jack in the Beanstalk, you know, seeds in the ground, and I'm going to have just thousands of pounds of food. And it's like, you can't throw that stuff in the ground on January 6th and expect anything to grow. So if you don't have a backup plan to get you to growing season at planting season, you need stuff that'll get you through 2 to 3 seasons.
Right.
So, I mean, just because that stuff sprouts up doesn't mean you can eat it. You're going to have to let it mature and everything else and then harvest it. There's a lot to think about with it.
And, you know, part of sustainability, do you know how to garden?
Yeah.
Because I promise you, it's a whole lot more than sticking a seed in the ground. Now, sticking a seed in the ground is it'll get you somewhere, but that first year, you know, you may have a really good harvest, but then you just pulled all the nutrients that particular plant needed out of your soil. And so can you plant that plant in the same place again and get the same yield?
Yeah.
Or do you know how to make compost?
Yeah.
Do you know that if you raise rabbits, you can have not only meat, but excellent manure for your garden? Yeah. That there's so many of, you know, little tricks and tips and stuff like that when you're talking sustainability, like the best, in my opinion, and I think Jason feels the same way, permaculture is the way to go. Yeah. Because permaculture teaches you to not fight nature, to work with nature, to do things the natural way, building a food forest, growing perennial plants that are just going to produce for you and you don't have to do much with them. All of that kind of thing. Permaculture is going to get you the best yield, and learning all of the principles, how to build your soil, how to do things the way nature does, where to put things, doing zones, all of that kind of stuff is going to help you become sustainable. But, you know, where I'm really passionate about the sustainability part of it, but I also recognize that there's a time for prepping. There needs to be, like in my car, there needs to be a bag in there that has several bottles of water and some food, you know, crackers, peanut butter crackers, whatever, especially right now. What if I slide off the road on my way home from work and I need to, you know, I don't have somebody coming right away or whatever, and I need to stay warm and I need to have water and all of those things. There's a time that prepping is the thing that you have to do. It's a good idea to have however many months of food that you can have. If you're at the very beginning stages of this and I say to you, you need a year's worth of food in your pantry, and people look at you like, what? You know, it takes time to build this stuff, but it's a good idea to have these things. And it's not just about the downfall of society or, you know, the winter blizzard coming. It could be that you lose your job.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and if you don't have to buy food, if you've got, say, 3 months worth of food saved up and you don't have to have that expense, that takes a little bit of stress off of you.
Exactly.
You know, it's not, sustainability is important and prepping is important. Right. And both of them have their place. It doesn't have to be Jason's a prepper. I'm pointing the right way. Jason's a prepper and he's crazy. And when he takes that cap off, he's got a tinfoil hat that he puts on. It's not about that. It's about knowing, you know, what's appropriate. And sometimes what's appropriate is what you have funds for, right?
Exactly.
Somebody made a comment on a video that I put out, and it was something about this is all great, you know, for people that can, I can't remember exactly what they said. It was something about this is all great for people that can afford to do that. And I remember a time that when our girls were little and Randy and I, we didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I mean, we barely got by. Randy drove over the road. He would be gone for 2 weeks at a time. He'd work for a trucking company that didn't pay hardly anything. It was a local guy. And it was hard. But you still, you know, like maybe I wasn't prepping with, you know, having my meat out here that I butcher and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I was prepping having a few jars of peanut butter and some, you know, macaroni and cheese in the cabinet, but I made sure that my girls ate, that kind of thing. So do what you can with the resources you have.
Yeah. I'm laughing when you were talking about your having some peanut butter and cracker in your truck. I laughed because the other day when I was up working at your house, I left and I was like, I want a snack. So I stopped at the little gas station and grabbed a drink, and I was like, some peanut butter and crackers sound good. So I went over there, grabbed a thing of peanut butter and crackers, paid for it, got out, got on the parkway, opened up my peanut butter and crackers and looked, and they were cheese and crackers. And I'm like, I hate cheese and crackers like with a passion. I was so mad. I was like, I can't believe. And then I was craving them. I was like, I'm not going to stop anywhere else. I was like, I'll just live without getting a snack. I was so pissed off. So, but yeah, and I mean, the comment that people put on there, you know, it must be nice to have all the money to do this. You don't have to build a year's food supply tomorrow. Start off small. If you super love tuna gravy, like some people love tuna gravy, I've not researched that yet. I'm going to. So, but I mean, if you like tuna fish, get a few extra cans of tuna every time you go. And then that slowly adds up. If you really like peanut butter and cracker, get an extra thing of peanut butter every time you go. And just build it up small, these baby steps. And eventually you look back on it and you're like, holy crap, I got 30 cans of tuna and 30 cans of peanut butter. It's like, hey, and now rotate through that stuff. And rotate through it. And eventually you can build up a 1 week food supply. And then you're going to build a 2 week, and then you're going to build a month, and then you're just going to keep on. It's going to snowball, and then you look at it and you're like, man, I really didn't miss that. Stop. Don't go to Starbucks. Make the coffee at your house. And I mean, how much is Starbucks coffee? I know I've said it before, $5 or $6 a thing. You can still get, you know, canned food items and a fair amount of canned food items for that $5 or $6 for your cup of coffee instead.
Right.
So maybe don't buy the name brand cereal. Get the Meyer or the Kroger brand cereal. Save a couple bucks. Take that couple bucks, throw it on some food items. I mean, there's small ways to go. Yes, if you've got the financial means, go out and buy a year's food supply and have it sitting there. But watch the stinking labels, because a lot of those year food supply, you're buying a bunch of stinking sugary drinks to make up the calories.
Well, and you're talking about food buckets, right?
Yeah.
Like the companies that sell those food buckets, you need to, if you're going to spend money on that, and some of those things are expensive. A lot
Yeah.
of those things are expensive. If you're going to spend money on that, do your research, because those companies will pack those with like what Jason's talking about, drink packets that, have like so many calories, but they're empty calories. They're not, it's not like you could go out and work a day on your farm or your homestead or whatever just drinking drink mixes.
Yeah.
So make sure it'll say it has do what?
I worked all day on 32 ounces of Tang.
Right.
So.
It'll say that it has this many calories per day per person, but are they filling calories? Are they things that are going to get you through a day of work if you have to dig into that? And I mean, I promise you, if something does happen that you have to dig into your food supply, that's not like you losing your job or something, but if something happens where you have to start raising a garden and taking care of animals and stuff like that, you need those calories to get out and do that stuff on a full-time basis. So make sure that you're not wasting your money on those food buckets. You may be better off waiting, like if Kroger or Meijer or IGA or something, if they have like a 10 for $10 sale, and going and buying that stuff, looking for when things go on sale and stocking up on it then, and building your supply that way.
Yeah. I mean, heck, if you do rice and beans and canned chicken, a thing of that's going to fill your butt up pretty good. Yeah. Or if you're a tuna person, right? Rice, beans, and tuna.
I am not a tuna person.
I tell you, I like tuna fish sandwiches every now and then.
No,
but don't get one from the gas station, because
don't get me wrong. If that's all I got to eat, I will eat it. But it's not ever going to be my first choice. I'll go through everything else in my pantry, and I think we might have 2 or 3 cans of tuna in there, because Randy likes tuna fish too or whatever. But I'm going to be honest with you. We feed it to our cats more than anything. Really? It's just, I don't like it. I don't eat it. And because I don't eat it, he rarely makes it. So yeah, it's just not something.
Oh, I'll tear up a good tuna fish sandwich on toasted bread.
Mm-mm.
Hey, I got a new, did I tell you about my new toaster I got? Oh, it's like, and then people are going to be like, hey, he's living the high life and everything, because we got money for a year food supply and all that. But our toaster that I've had for, 15 years, finally bit the dust. And so Lincoln and I, and this was right around Christmas, Lincoln and I were at Meijer, and he's like, Dad, do they sell toasters here? And I was like, yes, they sell toasters here. He goes, where are they at? We need to go get a new toaster. And I'm like, because he loves toast. Like, he loves toast and butter.
Oh, I like toast and butter too.
Yeah, but that's like his mainstay. Sometimes he's like, will you fix me a piece of toast with some butter? And I was like, you want anything else on it? Nope, just want toast and butter. And I was like, okay.
You haven't shown him how to put brown sugar on it and make cinnamon toast, brown sugar and cinnamon?
No,
that was my favorite as a kid.
He just wants toast and butter. And I'm like, okay. So we get over to the section, and he's like looking around. He's like grabbing, he like grabs the first one. I was like, dude, you hadn't even looked. And he looked, he's like, this one's got like a touch screen on it and everything. So I'm looking at it. This thing has got, it's got a thing if it's frozen, like a frozen waffle, or if it's just regular, or if it's a bagel. And then the screen lights up, and you touch how well done you want your toast. Like, it's over on the left, it's got real light toast, and at the end, it's got like super brown toast. And he was like, this is awesome, let's get it. So I'm like, okay, we'll buy your LED light up screen toaster. So
does it message your phone when you're out of bread and stuff like that?
No, it does not have
fridges.
Yeah, it does not have Wi-Fi hookup or anything, but we're living a high life with a touchscreen toaster now.
I guess so.
That's what you get when you get to be a YouTube star, is a touchscreen toaster.
Whoop, whoop.
So that's what we're buying with all our tons of money we're making off YouTube. So, but yeah, well, on a different note, we'll need to get back on the same subject. But yeah, I mean, the whole preparedness and sustainability run hand in hand. It's 2 concentric circles, and you really need to strive to be in the overlap of those concentric circles. Have a way to reproduce what you're stockpiling. And you don't necessarily have to have a way to reproduce rice and beans, because you're going to have a hell of a time growing rice in Kentucky. That's for sure. So, but the thing is, your food that you've stored can supplement what you're growing already.
Yeah.
If you've got thousands of pounds of rice and you want lamb and rice one night, hey, you can have lamb and rice one night, and you've supplemented what you've stored with stuff that you've actually grown. Me personally, I like the perennial stuff. That's why I put in a big food forest, is because I hate gardening. I hate working for vegetables and stuff like that. So I kind of want to get that on autopilot. I'm a lot better at growing meat than I am growing vegetables. That, and I like meat a lot more.
I like to garden. I like growing food.
I hate it. I hate going out there and doing all that. But I do love when I'm mowing the yard. In the summertime, I can stop the mower and go grab a handful of strawberries.
It gives me a sense of accomplishment.
My sense of accomplishment is when I go down there and I see new lambs. I'm like, yeah. So, hey, another thing, that set of twins we had the other day, one of them was like on death's doorstep. I don't know what the deal was. She was cold and everything else. So we brought her up to the house, kept her going. She hadn't had a lot of food, so we're bottle feeding her. So we need a name for this lamb. It's a ewe lamb. So put what we should name this ewe lamb. So, because I don't get to name stuff, because I name stuff stupid. Like we named our bull calf Mark. So,
Name her Leah.
Leah?
Leah.
We're going to let the people decide. Leave a comment and tell her what we should name her. So, but yeah, as far
Leah
as
wasn't wanted by Jacob. Jacob wanted Rachel.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll let our viewers name her, I guess. Either that, or we'll just sell her as a bottle baby and not have to worry about it. So, but yeah, I mean, that what we've covered tonight is, as far as prepping versus sustainability, it's really not a versus match. It's how can we put prepping and sustainability together, and there's ways to do it. Have a stockpile of food, but also have a way to replenish your food. And
yeah.
The biggest takeaways on it for me is the time frame. If you're just prepping, you're prepping for a short-term thing, because you don't know how long you're going to live. I mean, you could prep 100 years of food and wind up living to be 101, and you're screwed then. So, I mean, but if you live to be 101, you're probably screwed anyway, honestly.
Jeez.
So, I wouldn't want to be 101 years old.
My biggest takeaway is skills.
Yeah.
And this, if you don't have the land to have a homestead, if your space is small, use this time as a classroom to learn skills. Start making, you got 2 weeks worth, start doing the prepping, that kind of thing, and start building that, and use this time as your classroom to learn skills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, it's kind of been a short one for the night. We will be back later on this week. Maybe when's it going to come, the other Snowmageddon?
I think it's supposed to start, I want to say I heard that it was going to hit Texas like Thursday or Friday and hit us maybe Friday, Saturday kind of thing.
Awesome.
But that was, I think we'll know more midweek about what's going to happen, as that forecast tightens up. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that it was like not doing that on the weekend, because the weekend is my time, and maybe I don't know. I shouldn't be wishing for that stuff. But like the place where I work at, we can they're part of our workforce is production, which we need people to come in and build our stuff. And then part of our workforce is office staff. So if you have the ability, you can work from home. I prefer not to work from home. But this morning when I got up, which I brought my laptop and everything home on Friday, because we knew this stuff was coming in and we didn't know what was going to happen. But I got up this morning, and Randy got up about the same time I did, and he asked me if I was going to work, and I said, well, we got a one call saying that everything was open, that both production and office would be open. But it's, if you can't safely get to work, then you should stay home and work from home. Just let your boss know. And he said, I'll go out and start the truck for you. And I said, if it's frozen, I'm not going to work because everything was frozen yesterday. We had ice all over the place. And I thought, if there's an ice shell over my truck, I'm not driving to work. And he went out there and come back in, and I didn't hear the truck running. And I said, so is it frozen? He goes, no. He said, there's not any ice anywhere. He said, I turned the truck on. It's running. I was like, doggone it.
My truck was totally iced up this morning.
Mine wasn't. There wasn't ice anywhere.
Wow.
He went out and put some salt on the walkway because there were a couple slick places, but everything was pretty much melted off.
Wow. See, I'm horrible, working. If I've got to do something at the house, I can't go up to the house and do it at the bar or the kitchen table. If I'm doing something on my laptop or iPad, I have to come down here and do it down here. If not, it'll be, I want to do this or I want to do that or I'm going to do something. So if I've got to work from the house, it's let me go down here to my spot. That's my office. I'm going to work down here. Leave me alone. Don't come down here and bother me. So
yeah, it's easier if I have to work from home, I'm very easily distracted. I have to be very intentional about doing my job because especially if it's nice out. Oh my God. Working from home when it's nice out, forget that mess. Cause I want to go out and work in the garden or something like that. I don't want to be in the house.
Oh yeah. And I'll find if it's something on a laptop or something like that, or I'm going to have to do some kind of crap like that, I will find every excuse to do something else. I'm like, I'll do it here in a little while. I'll do it here in a little bit. But now if it's some kind of physical stuff, working on something, man, I work harder doing that and get more accomplished in that hour than I do any other time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, guys, well, we will see you on the next one as long as we're not knee deep in snow or ice or whatever comes our way, mud floods or whatever. So,
yep.
But we appreciate it and we will see y'all next time. See
y'all
you.
Be safe. Bye.